As the managing partner of Capstone, you have raised capital in a creative way. Can you discuss how you have structured your business plan to raise capital from multiple individuals and stay within the guidelines of SEC regulations?
Well, when we first sat down to come up with the concept for our development, we were following some trailblazers in the area and what they had done. But we looked at what we wanted to accomplish, and then we sat down with our attorney, who very quickly prompted us and said, you cannot pursue investors. You have to pursue co-venturers. And he has hammered that home over the last 3.5 years. Never call anyone an investor. They're always co-venturers if they're entering into business with you, because you don't want to involve the SEC. One of the biggest things revolving around the number of co-venturers or members in our LLC is the fact that there's not a defined guideline out there that says you can't be past X number, but his guideline, his experience was, I don't want you to see you have more than 25 people as members of your LLC over the lifetime of the project. That number, again, is from his experience. We don't really have a rule or out there, but we're just basically guiding, going along with Rick Graves, who is our attorney, his experience in the SEC regulations. That doesn't itself guarantee that you're not going to be considered a security. Some of the other things we had to do, we looked at the fact, how do people sit in the LLC? We're a member-managed group. Myself and my business partner, Bill Gilligan, are the managers of the LLC, and we have to make sure that everybody has voting rights. We can vote on major meeting issues. Is this the direction the company wants to go? We set out from the very beginning and defined a purpose for the group, and if we veered from that purpose, the members can actually vote us out as managers, which that is a protection for us as the managers of the group. And coming up with the concept, we outlined in our operating agreement very early on, this is what we're trying to accomplish. We wanted to develop this land in this area for this purpose, and this is what it's going to look like. And that gives us great protection. It also keeps the SEC off of us and makes it look more like a group of individuals basically with like mind and purpose who are coming together, contributing their money to a purpose, and not someone who's just basically giving us their money and saying, okay, I'm going to sit back and wait for my return. And I think that's the biggest thing, is individuals being involved. We have meetings, we have votes, and that in itself makes us immune to SEC guidelines.
What attracted the investors, the co-venturers, to provide capital for the Capstone project?
I think the biggest thing was the fact that we were wanting to help our members, our co-venturers, create wealth. We're comprised of non-qualified investors, I'm certain of that, that brings a group of people together who normally wouldn't be able to accomplish something that larger development companies would do. So we brought together a small number of co-venturers and created a wealth platform. Everybody wants to know how to generate passive income. And so we were going to create mixed use with residential and commercial. Residential sitting over commercial in some cases, and other buildings it would be purely residential. But the avenue that we have gone down is that we're going to take some of the funds from the residential and help to purchase at cost our commercial space. And then we lease that out, and then therefore there is a passive income generator out there that allows individuals who normally wouldn't be able to access that to be able to grab a hold of something that they can sit back and wait for their quarterly return or dividend from their LLC membership interest. I think also one of the things, this being one of our first ventures in this area of creating something like this, we were very generous with our sweat equity, and we had to be. Everybody liked the model that we were presenting, but it helped them to know that we were really putting a lot of our own skin in it, not only financially, but through our time and energy. And that has played out over the last 3 years, and that gives people a great peace of mind to know that I'm contributing to something that these people believe in, and they believe in it so much so that they're going to work their tails off over, whatever period of time it ends up being. And so I think that's a big thing. The last thing, and it sort of builds on that, is trust. We worked in trying to find people to contribute to this project through our sphere of influence. I have a rule about not investing with family members, but outside of that, we worked, every person that is invested in, contributed to this project is someone that we have known through our direct personal or professional relationships. And that gives us a basis of trust to build off of. So from that point forward, we're basically presenting our idea, and people can contribute and become members of the LLC if they felt that they liked the idea.
Getting back to what happened with the FDIC, the Capstone project has a loan from First Federal that is now insured by the FDIC. So it's been difficult to restructure the loan to build your first building that consists of 4 townhomes. Although 3 of the 4 units have a pre-sales contract, you still need to raise private equity investment to start the building since you cannot restructure the loan. Can you share with us how you're going to raise your next round of capital?
Well, we looked within the group first to see what we could accomplish, and the numbers that we were seeking were beyond what we could tackle within the group. Though we are going to raise enough within the group to at least pay off the land, and actually we're going to be using something that that Cheryl mentioned. Self-directed IRA is going to be part of that project. But first and foremost, we wanted to make sure that, again, when we're going to someone, we're able to show again that we've got skin in it, not just the funds that we have contributed over a 3-year period, but that we're once again going to try to put our money into it as much as we were able to raise, and and pay off the land. That sets us up to be able to go to someone, and a private investor, and offer them first position, which anyone who's going to invest in the lending aspect of a construction loan is going to want first position. So that's a key thing. Our focus being that we want to offer a fairly high and competitive rate of return. Obviously, there are a number of people out there pursuing funds, so we have to separate ourselves out in a number of ways. Our idea, I think, is unique, but that in itself isn't going to sell it, so we have to offer something that's very straightforward, very easy to explain, and very competitive. And so high rate of return, cash-on-cash return, as opposed to being, calculated daily interest, that I think helps as well. And a defined timeline. We're going to be able to knock these projects out in 7 to 8 months, and by the time they receive their funds back, it'll be within a year. So I think that makes it a much more attractive prospect, but we're having to go out and find private equity that is not, not from the banks, because the banks see us as speculative. Regardless of having everything pre-sold, we're still speculative construction, and that's a hurdle that can't be overcome right now. We also offer the remaining capital, or the remaining equity in our land, which I think helps make it a little bit more attractive. So